All right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into another stream. If you guys are new here, in the morning, we come in, we take a look at NQ price action, see what happened during that overnight session, see what price can do going into that New York session. So, let's get into it. Let's see what we have on this thing today. Today, it's quite the price action overnight, I'll tell you. I got stopped out of some shorts on this big wick, and that was pretty sad. But you know what? It happens. That's why we trade, right? Anyways, let's see. We typically start off here on that higher time frame, right? We look out to see what price did. Kind of on the hourlies, looking a bit like a fucking bull flag. But at the same time, on the 4 hour, we are holding. Yeah, we are holding this fair value gap. This is a 30-minute fair value gap. That price came in and tapped. Let's see. There's this teeny tiny little fair value gap, right? Let me see. Let's see. Hope. There we go. Okay, so we started our review on the 4 hour. Right now, currently, what we are observing on the 4 hour is that price is just consolidating here, right? This is the first down close candle that we've had in fucking the past 3 days. So we think that the trend is pretty clear to us at this point of where price is wanting to continue up to and wanting to expand to and wanting to go to. So that is one thing that we are looking at here. Let me start this up. So this is also inside our Discord, so go check us out, www.papertraders.io. If you guys want to, maybe we'll even do some live trading. Let's maybe do that. So here today. So looking on the 4 hour, we are currently holding that tiny but mighty FVG at, so this fair value gap is from 25,969.25. This is a non-continuous chart. Heads up, this is NQM. Yeah. To 25,976.50. So, if price continues to hold this, then we are still confirming that upside. One thing to watch here is price being below the previous daily high, right? So price here is below that previous daily high at 2603.25, right? We have so price has swept that level. Displacement above it, and no 4 hour close above it yet, right? So this does pose a potential for a reversal. I need to get reversal. I need to stop getting so biased to the downside. I'm always, just kind of like whenever it's pumping, I'm like, oh fuck, I got a short, which it does work out, but sometimes it's like trying to short the train, so you gotta look for those reversal points. Gotta stay patient here. On the hourly, what do we have here on the hourly? Is Fed speaking? Is there a Fed speaking? Hold up, let me turn on my little squawk guy to see if he can comment some headlines to me. Today we got NABH Housing Market Index, FOMC Bar Speaker, HAMOC, IMF meeting today as well. So let's see what we have here on the 30. Still just gonna on the hourly. So we are in a little bit of this channel right now, right? Price is just kind of.
Ed Spar says we have to take shocks as a given and use the tools that are at hand. Again, to use the tools that are at hand.
Right. We got a little bit of a channel here on the hourly. So let's see here on the hourly. So not necessarily any fair value gaps on the upside. On the downside, we got that 4-hour fair value gap. This.
Ed Spar says goals are in tension, but the Fed will get the job done.
Let's see here. So on the hourly, we could be watching for. On the hourly, the only thing to watch for is probably the upside of the London Asia session right here. In terms of downside, it's going to be the two extremes of that 4-hour candle right now, that it can either form a new 4-hour high or a new 4-hour low. So hourly, we can see that price is just in the middle of this consolidation. Here it would be smart to wait for price to sweep either side of the range. So it would be smarter to let the price kind of do its thing, expand or to whatever side and sweep either side of the range before we put on a trade and see the price wants to go. Of course, we can play within the middle of the range, right? But that kind of poses a little bit more risk in terms of you're playing in a range, right? If you're staying in the middle of the range, this kind of goes back to market value theory. It's like you got this range, right? You maybe have your value area right here. You kind of don't know whether it's going to break up to here and then reverse, or if it's going to break down over here and then come back up. Right, so that's one thing that we have to watch for here with this, is what price wants to do within this little consolidation range. And we can even put on this VRVP, right? Maybe to see, maybe not on this one, probably on the 5 minutes going to be better. But on the hourly, right, we're still just going to be watching that previous daily high and seeing what price wants to do. Still watching PDH.
We're bracing for prolonged energy crisis.
As if price remains below that PDH, that does give us a potential for some more downside. Let's see on the 15-minute. What do we have here? So you can see on the 15-minute.
67% the subscription. Isn't that one big, huge, brilliant deal? Come on, people.
On the 15-minute over here, we have this fair value gap that is right above that previous daily high. And with so far bodies are respecting it and rejecting it, we also have this fair value gap on the downside that price is bouncing out of. So kind of just stuck here between two fair value gaps right now. In order for price to continue to the downside and maybe deliver to some of these targets here, we would need to see this big fair value gap.
Running at 2 speeds with a lot of capacity. People at the upper end, but others are having a harder time.
There's another fair value gap right there. So we got technically 3 fair value gaps, right? This one upside that keeps on holding price right there. There we go. Let me get rid of some of these. So on the 15-minute, price has 3 FEGs that are posing potential trade setups.
ECB's Kazakh says
Setups here
is a risk.
For us, currently we are rejecting the FEG at the top.
IMF's fiscal advisor, Director Valdez, says we're responding to an oil supply shock which measures that increased demand, and you will have more inflation. So again, responding to an oil supply shock that measures that increased demand, you will have more inflation.
In order to continue to the upside, we would need to clear this one. On the downside, price is currently supported, so price currently supported by this fair value gap down here, right around that daily open.
The finance ministers of various nations, including UK, Australia, and Japan, issue a joint statement on the Middle East. That also includes New Zealand as well.
So if price breaks this one, still on to the downside, we could be looking for further downside and potential delivery to the overnight lows we have outlined.
So finance ministers in joint statement says even with a durable resolution of the conflict, impact on growth, inflation, and markets will persist.
So let's
Also
see,
saying that we're
prices.
committed to managing the economic response to and recovery from this crisis in a coordinated and responsible and responsive way.
Let's see. So let me play some. Let's play some John Summit. Let's see what it's got.
Also,
Say something
finance
else.
ministers in joint statement says they commit to avoiding and call on all nations to avoid protectionist actions, including unjustified export controls, stockpiling, and other trade barring in hydrocarbon and other supply chains affected by
see.
the crisis.
And this is what we were kind of talking about right earlier about this value area high and value area low. Where is our value area low though? That's my question.
So according to an Israeli report here for N12 News, citing Al Mayadeen, quoting an Iranian source, says a ceasefire in Lebanon will be announced tonight for 1 week.
And there's right, this is what we're kind of working on. So technically Asia session, London session, interaction between those two, we do have a profile that could potentially lead to a S&D profile, so seek and destroy, given that price can sweep both sides, or given that price swept both sides. So now price could sweep both sides going into that other session, right? Going into that New York session, got that expansion yesterday. But also after that huge expansion, typically what price does tend to do is just consolidate, right? We don't reverse from consolidation, so we would need some kind of manipulation. This could be that manipulation. 26050 got swept, right? But this is what we were kind of watching here on that front, where Asia session consolidation, London session sweeping the top of the Asia session, and then now New York does have the potential of sweeping the low of the London session and then reversing back to the upside. That's what we were kind of watching here on that 5-minute time frame. Huge wick, 2 huge wicks to the upside. So there's that to watch as well. Let's change this one. Let's change these two as they both got swept. I don't want to. There we go. Don't want to confuse them with the liquidities that we do have on the upside. There we go, right? So this daily open still continues to kind of hold. We haven't had any form of, major displacement below it. You can see as soon as we displace below it, we come back to it. So on the 5-minute, we are watching the daily open closely here, given that price has just consolidated around it. This is a pretty big area of control, right? Point of control, where buyers and sellers are both bidding to, because they're agreeing on price over here. So 25,985.75, 25,985.75 is that level. So price would need to see as strong. Just listen below it. in order to continue to the downside and continue holding if we are looking for further upside here. With the overnight session, we do have a potential for an S and D, so we could be waiting for a sweep of either side of the London session
Fourth
here
of May,
before the
ceasefire will be established in Lebanon.
before
whose
the
duration will be
move.
1 week and extends until the end of the ceasefire between the US and Iran.
So there's some ceasefire news as well coming out. Other than that, that is all I got. You can see 4 hour has swept both sides. Previous 4 hour, we got an outside 4 hour here. So it's kind of an in-between right now. Just trading around these, chopping around, right? And trading in a range, you got to pick your tops, you got to pick your bottoms. So right now, top of the range, bottom of the range. So let's see what price wants to do.
IMF
Let's see what it wants to
says
go.
hoarding oil is not good for oil prices.
Other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Love you. Appreciate you. Make sure you go check us out, www.papers.io. Make sure you see what we are all about. Check our previous streams. See the things that we offer.
Just keeping on the dollar index, seeing a little bit of movement.
Check out.
Downside, not a lot.
Check us out on Twitter at the Paper Traders as well. Check Mr. Hayes out at Hayes Beats. Give him a good old shout. He's posting great content.
Go just a tiny bit of movement towards the outside.
And give me a follow. If you guys like these, make sure you share them. It's the best way to spread awareness for what we're all about, and it's the best way to support us. On that, or maybe we should just stay live and do like a live price commentary.
Germany's
Let's see what we're
finance
doing
minister
here.
Klingbeil says Iran crisis is hurting
Let
German
me-
economy.
Let me be right back. Pause. I'm gonna turn off my video real fast, and we're gonna be watching what Price does. I'll be right back. We'll do a live commentary on Price. I'm back. Anyways, currently working with a 150k Tradeify account. So let's see what we can do with it today. Waiting to see for this open 5 minutes before. Current 15-minute, just cranking it to the upside here. We have some news come out. If you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, ask away in the chat. Let's see what they do here. Let's see how they want to run this. You can see how we've had those wicks to the upside. Some wicks to the upside, some wicks to the downside. We're back to New York Open, which during Wednesdays, there's a good chance that price always does retrace to that level. And that's currently what is happening. So let's keep watching here. Let's see what they will offer us on this price action. Well, let's start titling these streams that we're working on that Tradeify 150k account. All right. Share our journey with it. And we'll do some Asia session trading too. Like overnight Bitcoin. See if there's anything fun on crypto. There's definitely GPS. How's the gun doing? My girl gun. Bio went absolutely fucking nuts. I remember we've traded this one before. 2 minutes until market opens up. Let's see here. I think the ceasefire news are pushing us up right now. So above that previous daily high, right, we have those liquidities up above. Let's see how they open this up. Specifically that 15-minute held. Let's see what they want to do. Oh man. Let's see how they put this, where they put this market at.
1 minute ago now to get the marker on open imbalance data.
A little SFB there. On the one a bit fair value gap at the bottom as well. So let's see here. Curious to see how they open this puppy up.
To report, according to Al Jazeera, citing broadcast authority from an Israeli source, Israeli refusal of Washington's request for temporary ceasefire in Lebanon.
Something about Israeli refusal for ceasefire in Lebanon. So it's up the previous hourly high. That is one thing I'm noting here. Previous hourly high has been swept. And this did look like this was going to be a falling 3 here. Didn't quite get it. There it is. Market's open. We're off to the races. Let's see what they do out here. This is, they're gushing it to the downside right now.
Sell side 29 million.
Swap that.
1.8 million. Dow 30 buy side 31
Right,
million.
let's
and
watch this
maximum buy
1
side
minute.
14
Let's
spot
see if they can
65 million.
close this fair value gap. That can give us a potential trade to the downside if they close this up. If they close this 1 minute fair value gap up. I'll be curious to see how they play this out. If they keep that SFP on the 1 minute, that will give us that potential for an outside 15 minute. And maybe potential for an outside hour here if price can get back below this previous hourly. You can see they're just playing around with it. SFP on the 1 there. Looks like they don't want that SFP right now. We saw that initial run on the downside. Playing around that Sunday or that New York midnight open here.
Order filled.
I'll see, I'm taking some shorts here. Let's see if they want to outside this hour. This could give us some potential here. It's that low. 25 96050, 25 96050. So this 1 minute fair value gap got displaced. Right. Now price needs to hold. Let's go back to the 5 minute. Have that SFP on the 1. So what we're targeting is this low here. That hourly low. I'll see outside 15 minute first. And 25 975 75 is also going to play into effect. There you go. They don't want that 1 minute fair value gap or inverse. Right. So we also got an outside 5 minute on this. And it looks like they want to just continue cranking this hoe to the upside. They were close to that outside
Also from
15 minute.
Israeli Broadcasting Authority, citing Israeli source, Israeli officials attribute the reason for rejecting the U.S. request due to Hezbollah continuing firing.
So, U.S. continues to reject, or Israel continues to reject that ceasefire. Don't have a rising VIX fix yet. That's where I typically would long on a rising VIX fix. Let's see here. Still on the 5 minute, they're cranking that shit. Let's see how they close this thing up in the next 40 seconds. And price is at that New York midnight open right now as well.
Ms. Valdez said the U.S. needs a credible, robust debt consolidation plan to put debt to GDP ratio on a downward path.
See how this 5 minute, see a little whip to the top there. Let's see. how they play this 1 minute out. So I'm curious to see what they do with that 15-minute, that hourly, right? Still, I'm liking this close to the upside with this wick being
According to
that
Iranian
way.
state media, Pakistani delegation is on its way to Iran to convey U.S. message and plan for second round of discussions.
Let's see how they play this thing out. Might have to wait until the new hour. Wow, some shit flying around. So there's that value area high. God damn, some shit fucking flying in my face out here. Right, there's that value area high. Oop. Let's see. Typically value area high. I'm not seeing that value area low. Is it way lower up here? Yeah, it's way lower down there. God damn. So let's see here. They would, like we said, this is a big area of consolidation here, so they would need to break this in order for us to get a little bit of downside out here. But of course, we're watching what price wants to do that. New York midnight open level. And we're watching, I like to watch 3 time frames, right? I like to watch the 5 minute, 15 hourly. Sometimes I'll flip this to the 30 minute. It's back to 30 minute, 4 hour, 60 minute, but I like to keep it on the 60. That gives us
the consolidation cannot wait forever.
It gives us a little bit of that oversight of the higher time frame. 15 minute typically gives me that those identification points of liquidity, right? Of where liquidity still resides. In the 5 minute, I typically like to use that for those entries as well as the 1 minute, right? So I'll flip between the 5 and the 1, just see where we can potentially enter the market and what we can do with it. Let's see what they bring here. Are being tricky with it right now. Very wiki. Very, very wiki. Let's see what we got here on PGHD. PGHD were our stonks that we've talked about these past few days. Going up nicely. BA, AFRM just fucking cranking that hog to the upside. We had some calls on it the other week. Love as well. We had some calls on that as well. So nice. Okay, there we go. You can see. Okay, keeps on rising. So looks like they want the top first. Go sweep that wick. Let's see if they want to sweep the top of that Asia session as well. Right, Asia session high or London session. I mean this overnight session high right there at 26.058. So like we were saying right at the beginning of this stream, where we were looking at both of those extremes, right? Now they've made a new extreme here, and there's potential for that other extreme now too. But now we're just gonna watch to see whether or not they want to bring this down or reverse it. So far, no signs of reversal. Like we said, if it's holding above that previous daily high, then there's likely going to be that continuation to the upside. New 5 minute opened up. She's fucking strong. She has been strong. She's never failed with the strength that she's shown us. Right there is a sweep of that top there. Right, so this is where that potential S&D profile comes into play, given that we've swept both sides of the top of this range now. That poses us with a potential downside here, unless we're holding this London session high and we're continuing to the upside here. Right, that is one thing that we do want to watch, and we swept that previous 4-hour high. We're back above it. We already got an outside 4-hour here. And 3 minutes until the next 15-minute candle opens up here. So let's see. So you could take shorts there, right? On the it's based on those sweeps. See what they do out here. See what headlines they're also dropping. SFP on the 15 minutes so far. So swing failure pivot. And see, every time we've gotten one of those on the 15 minute, we had quite a nice reversal here. So if they can hold that SFP there on the 15, that will be in our favor. Curious to see where they take this thing. Right, somebody has also said that 10 minutes also nice to watch, right, in terms of something in the 115. 115, we have a guy in our Discord that placed the 115 time frame. So we swept the top of the first 115. I mean, maybe that gives us a potential for something here, right? Something worthwhile. Let's see. 2 minutes left, so they can still crank this to the upside for us to find that reversal to the downside. We would need to remain below that London opening price. There's no fair value gaps down here either, besides that 15-minute fair value gap, but nothing on the 5-minute besides this one right now. Let's see. New 5 minutes gonna open up here in a minute. And let's see how this 15-minute closes up. So far. Right, and this is where we're watching this hourly because of price. Within the next 15 minutes, they could potentially take it to the outside hour here. Right, for this is where we're watching the body of this current 50 or this current hourly time frame, and they would need to get it at least below that 26.0725. Yeah, 26.0725 in order for this to give us an outside candle, right? But then we are also watching the range here on this current candle, on the previous hourly candle at 26.007, right? The 26.007, that body needs to remain below that in order for us to get that 25. Wow. They're cranking it. There's that 15. Let's see what they do.
On the S&P 500, just seeing a little bit of movement towards the downside here. No headlines so far yet.
So that was an aggressive move, right? If we took shorts right off of that, be pretty nicely, as we were talking about those right there. Current 15-minute opens up, rushing to the upside. No sweeps on the bottom. We retapped that 5-minute fair value gap here. Rising VIX fix. That's that potential for those longs, right? On the 5-minute. See, so then below, sorry, that's where we were.
A piece from Wall Street Journal saying that regional mediators push for extending US-Iran ceasefire. Regional mediators still pushing to extend ceasefire between the two nations and arrange the second round of talks, but progress has been slow, according to officials for the matter.
25,984
So the
is
US
that
and Iran
level.
have agreed in principle to meet, but haven't decided on a date and venue after marathon peace talks in Islamabad ended without a deal, the official said.
Whatever, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, that little squawker. I'm sure you guys can hear it. Oh, come on, let me talk. 25,984 is the 50% of that previous hourly range, right? Like we said, 26,007, the price can close its body below it, or not close its body, but hold its price body below that 26,007.25. That can give us that potential to the downside, and then we would need to break that 25,984 in order for us to get that other side of 25,6050.
Market reaction from the S&P 500, not so much from the Dixie or oil, for the back of that headline that talks have been progress has been slow.
And that's where we're talking about those different ranges, and look at that, right back up. So there's that 5-minute, that fucking price action is wildin'. Right, even like if we say pull up the 1-minute chart here, you can see how fucking crazy this shit is. Right there's down, immediate fucking up after those sweeps.
Says break-even rate for monthly job gain is around 50 to 60.
Bounce on that daily opening,
assets
right, that
at an event
level
in Washington.
that we were talking about, that 25,985.75. That level is important. See what they do with that 15-minute. Singular 5-minute candle, retracing this whole move to the upside, right? Those back-to-backs. What's the range on one of those? 240 fucking tickles. That's insanity. I wonder if the VIX is, or what Dixie's doing. Let's see. Dixie's seeing a little bit of a rise to the upside here. Q 12-hour. 12-hour put in a little topper here. But
According to reports here, Trump told a reporter that he spoke with Pakistan's Army Chief Munir yesterday. Once again, Trump told a New York Post reporter that he spoke with Pakistan's Army Chief Munir yesterday.
something about Trump speaking to a New York Post news reporter about Pakistan.
So the Wall Street Journal, just that headline, just getting some wider notation that the US and Iran have agreed in principle to meet, but haven't decided on a date and venue.
Iran and US have agreed on another meeting, but haven't decided on the venue yet. Anyways, that'll probably do it for today. Honestly, right? We got the shorts right off of that level up above that we swept. Nice reversal to the downside. Now we're watching this London session high here. If price continues to reject that, maybe within this hour we can potentially get these lows with how price is moving right now. That's what we could be watching for. If not, then not. Right, we're just gonna play around the highs and see what price wants to do above London session high. There's that potential for the continuation to the upside. But than that, that'll do it. So thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for watching. As always, love you. Appreciate you. As I said earlier, make sure you go check us out. www.paperchurch.io. That's the best way to see what we're all about, things that we offer inside our Discord. Make sure you go check us out on Twitter
Just
at
heads
the
up,
Paper
Iran
Traders.
Foreign Minister and Chinese
And,
Foreign Minister discussed the
yeah,
Iran-US in
that'll do it. We'll see you guys later tonight. Peace out.
Again, they discussed.